Hi Virgo, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 31st of May to June 6th. Let's get right into things. The first spread that I'm going to be doing is going to be general for all areas of life. Then I'll timestamp for the separate relationship read that I will do following up with that. Also in the description box, you're going to find a 20% off coupon code. For the month of June, I'm running a special on my lovers reading. So appropriately so, right? Because it's a Gemini's birthday. I am a Gemini. My birthday is on June 6th. So I'm running a 20% off special on those lovers energy for the month of June. All right, my friends, let's get right into this. All right, what do we have here? Knight of Swords. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay. Let's see what we have here. All right, so big news this week is Venus entering into Cancer. Those of you who are new to my channel, by the way, I do tarot, but I incorporate astrology as well for all the archetypes. I try to get as specific as I can for relatability as far as house placements and whatnot. I don't know you and your particular chart, so I work within the realm of the archetype. So if you're not resonating with it, you might want to check out your birth chart and see maybe if something was transiting, if there's, something impacting you not having the experience expressed here. And you also want to make sure you check your rising sign, your moon sign, and your Venus energy as well, especially your rising sign. That's really going to resonate most strongly with the house placement. So Venus in Cancer, really nice energy, and this is happening for you guys in your 11th house. So 11th house of goals, gains, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 20-year plan. It has to do with friends. It has to do with people that you associate with. A lot of time, 11th house is Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It rules technology. So it could be you meeting people online, and it works opposite the 5th house of love, romance, falling in love. So some of you may be in that space as well, right? Depending on where you're at in your life. But we do have this energy in there, Venus in Cancer. We also have Mars in Cancer. So very interesting. But coming into this energy, I'm feeling like you're in this space, in this situation, whether it's a relationship, a job, a family situation, something where you feel like your shoes are on the wrong feet. You're feeling very limited, very trapped, very restricted, thinking things are likely never going to improve, and that ends up creating a sense of anxiety in you, and that can create challenges in your concentration and how you're able to really focus in an effective way, right? Even just on like the daily. So you need a lot of determination to pull yourself out of whatever it is here, even if it means swallowing your pride, having to do with that work situation, relationship, family situation, whatever it is. But there's this recognition, right, with the 8 of Swords energy, because it's Jupiter in Gemini, and Jupiter is all about expanding. And when it's in Gemini is all about learning and communicating, and it's a lot of it is a lot about being very honest with yourself, right, at this point. Now, going back to the astrology, on the 31st we have Mars in Cancer, and it's trining Neptune in Pisces. This is a really spiritual aspect that's going to bring a very sort of this very I'm going to say mystical energy, this sort of like underrunning narrative that you're going to be feeling. And because this is happening between your 11th house of goals, gains, your friends, people that you're communicating with, and your 7th house of contracts, partnerships, this could equally have to do with relationships or business situations. Equally so, because again, 11th house has to do with that as well, particularly entrepreneurial efforts. It's the house of goals and gains, and 7th house is the house of contracts, lower courts. So any sort of legal situation you have going on, but it also has to do with marriage, right? So there's this very sort of mystical energy, and you're going to be feeling things that you might not be able to specifically put your finger on. That's that Neptune and Pisces, which you're feeling in the 7th. It's this idea of being very dreamy about something, but also at the same time, you could also self-sabotage yourself in that area. So you want to be careful, because you're not going to have this particular week, you're not going to have a completely clear idea about really anything. Between the Neptune and Pisces and Mercury being retrograde, this is going to be a week of feeling very uplifted up to the end of the week, but you're not really going to be completely sure. So not the best week for clarity for any of the signs. This is for nobody. It's okay. Sometimes we just have that. So if you're feeling like very trapped and very anxious in something, understand that it might be the energies, or you might be pushed to look at something a lot more deeply. But as far as that Venus entering Cancer, everybody's talking about it. And guys, for you, it's all about the 11th house. All about the 11th house. So beautiful for friendships, beautiful for connecting with people online, beautiful for creating that plan that you want, at least some solid vagaries of outlines of where it is that you want to go, at least that, and allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to go there. Now, the current situation for this week, we have the Knight of Swords, and it's being challenged by the Nine of Pentacles. So the Knight of Swords, if this is you, this is all about expect the unexpected. Now, some of you might be dealing with situations as an influence where there's some sort of unpredictability about the elements that are going on now. And we guess life is like that, but like really, all of a sudden it's like roller coaster energies, right? Highs and lows, sudden truths coming out, conflicts being exposed, right? This can be very, very confusing, or it could be a huge relief to some of you. It depends on where you're at and what the situation is. Wait for things to settle, though, before you try to make a move. Because some of you might be like, look, this is crazy. Like, you might feel like you're dealing with a person within a situation who creates a lot of drama. They don't take any responsibility for it. And you're just like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this, right? But it's being challenged by your ability to kind of go it alone and go into your own space. Because the Nine of Coins is all about comfort and accomplishment and success through independent endeavors, right? And in independent endeavors. So some of you may be in the space where it's like, look, I can't deal with this relationship anymore. I can't deal with this business situation, whatever it is. I want to just go on my own. I just want to go on my own. I want to work on myself. I want to get into something healthy. I want to get into a healthy relationship. I want to get into a situation that's really healthy, having to do with work. I'm all about being productive right now, right? Because that's the 9 is the number of productivity, right? It's the number of integrating your body, mind, and spirit. You might be dealing with a very messy energy where you feel, because of that, you feel very, very trapped. So again, this could be because of a family member, family situation, work situation, relationship situation, whatever it is. But look at you having the Ace of Pentacles as the crowning. Love this energy. Beautiful. This is about growth, right? I mean, it really is. Like, if this has to do with relationship that you're in right now, this is strong love and support. If you're single, this can indicate, first of all, spiritual growth, a very creative time, something that matters a lot to you coming to fruition. Some of you could be meeting somebody new and falling in love. This could be some of you finding out that you're pregnant, and excellent energy if you're trying to get pregnant, or wanting to change things around in your life so that you could better prioritize being a parent. I mean, this is like a beautiful, beautiful energy. It's about growth and being able to move forward. So here we have as the foundation, though, the Two of Swords. You're like, all right, I got to think about something, right? You're in an emotional stalemate. You need to make a decision. You want to protect yourself. You do. But some sort of situation that you're dealing with isn't going away. So you're better off resolving it now, standing your ground, saying what you think. A decision about the future is really needed here in order for you to be able to move forward, right? Because this is a Moon and Libra energy. So the Moon rules our emotions underneath the surface, right? And it has to do with either a relationship or some sort of soul contract or literal contract in business. And you're feeling something inside that's different than what you're presenting outside. Not because you are looking to be tricky, but because you're trying to figure out the best thing for yourself. You know? So you might not be giving all of the information regarding a situation. You might be holding something close to your chest, but it does seem like in order for this next chapter to happen, you have to be more forthcoming with information. Now we have you as the Queen of Pentacles. So this is you, and this is you taking care of yourself. Body, mind, soul, spirit, finances, the whole thing. The whole thing. This is you. This is such a Virgo energy too, right? It's like, oh, look, I'm bringing it down to earth. I'm going to be very practical. Even though this is not in astrology, this is a Sagittarius and Capricorn. Working with integrity, working within what you believe to be, exercising your moral code and your moral compass, and being very willing to put the work in. That's where you're at right now. Having to do with relationship, having to do with work, like that's it. Because you're dealing with external to you. This is the external energy that's influencing you. We have the Five of Swords. And this is right straight up. This is a clash of desire and reality. What it is that you want is not in your reality right now. And the tension of that divide and this ongoing conflict is not something that you're going to win right now. Because the situation is something that you don't have the power to control. So this may be a person. This might be some sort of external situation that you just simply don't have the control over it. So you're better off walking away with grace and dealing with your anger and disappointment, because you can't mitigate the situation right now. You can't fix the unfixable, all of that. Step away, let something settle. It's a minor arcana. It's not going to last forever. But there's something that you're like, all right, hold on a second. You're in this space of saying, I'm going to protect myself. I need to focus on me. I want to be good. I'm not looking to be selfish. I'm just looking to self-protect, right? I want to make sure that I'm okay moving forward in my life. And you're dealing with a little bit of a messy energy, but it's not you. It's an external energy. So I'm not saying it's a person. It might be something that you just can't mitigate. Like, I'm just going to throw something basic out there that I know a lot of people are dealing with. Is like, I don't know, let's say you lost your job because of COVID, or let's say things are different because of COVID, or things are different because of, I don't know, the market. Maybe you want to buy a house and you can't because the prices are bananas right now. It could be anything like this, right? So it doesn't have to be a specific person. It could just be the circumstances that maybe even you and somebody else are dealing with together, right? But there's something that you can't mitigate. Now, in your block is the death energy. So this is a challenge for you. So you might be feeling unwilling to let a person or a situation go, which can create significant anxiety and obsessive thoughts for you. And as painful as it is, there needs to be this understanding that something that's reached its expiration date in your life, or at least the way it was, has happened here. And there's nothing that you really can do at this point but to accept the situation, look for the lesson in it, and allow the release, and just be kind to yourself, you know? And allow the release to happen in layers. That's what I mean by be kind to yourself. Because so many people are like that. It's like, it's been a week. Why am I still feeling like this? It's been a month. It's been a year. Whatever you need, just let it happen in layers, you know? It's okay to feel broken for a little while. It's okay. That relationship, that opportunity that didn't work out, that family situation that was incredibly painful, whatever it is. It's a very private energy, though. I feel like you're dealing with this very sort of, you know, in your own space. Now, what do we have coming up in the near future is the Six of Cups. All right. So this is nostalgia, and this is an energy of harmony, which is good. This is feeling nostalgic about the past. So some of you may be in the space of either, there's a difference in what I'm about to say. Some of you are going to be in a space of reconciliation, reconnecting with somebody from the past, finding balance in a relationship, especially if you suffered mistreatment in the past. Things are going to be better this time around. So this could be with an intimate relationship, only if you wanted to. If you don't want to, keep them in your rearview mirror. Friendship, family connection you haven't spoken to or haven't heard from in forever, any of those things, right? But it could also be just within you reconciling something within yourself about your past, about that marriage that didn't work, that job that didn't work, that friendship that fell apart, that family connection that went south, whatever it is, right? But in the end, the other side of it is solace. You know, and Chiron is really, it's a beautiful aspect for so many people right now. Just a lot of healing. So some of you are going to, however, you know, depending on what your situation is. So we have the Page of Pentacles as the final outcome energy here. So the Page of Pentacles is about money news coming in for some of you, progress and auspicious beginnings regarding money, finance, business, some sort of offer made, maybe even on a property, or maybe you getting the thumbs up about something having to do with education. You got accepted into the school you're trying to get into. You got accepted into that program. You got some sort of award, something like this, okay? But it's allowing this beautiful new beginning. It's a very hardworking, reliable energy. Very strong potential for success here, no matter what it is. This could even be you meeting somebody new, because Pentacles is also mental, emotional, and physical connection. So you might, maybe you made a new friend online, and this person's going to end up over time being a more important element in your life, right? So that could just be an emotional connection or a mental connection, and of course, also a physical connection here. Okay. So there's some need to temper something, right? And when we have the Hierophant, so there needs to be some sort of tempering of expectations. This could be expectations within a marriage, within a relationship, within a business situation. This new level of trust, patient cooperation. There's got to be this tempering here of what's expected and how things are going to roll out. But there's got to be a lot of honesty as well as what you need, want, and desire as far as a particular situation or relationship. You know, this is Gemini and Cancer energy. So having the communication about what you needed to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. Very high emotional intelligence energy. You're very open to falling in love, deepening of emotional honesty and what's needed to make something work. So of course that would that could resonate as far as relationship goes, but it's also you showing up with bells and whistles on, being able to put the work into some sort of situation at work or even within a family connection, as long as things are tempered and worked out. There's got to be some sort of working out, some sort of tempering of something, because once you can do that, there's this energy being able to build. The Three of Pentacles is the energy of collaborating and success, right? I always call this the architect card, right? This is like rewarding work, allowing your talents to shine, very successful launch of something. Some of you maybe you're doing home improvements or selling your home, which will go well. Really, nice energy here. And we have this Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is about being very, very focused on your ability to feel very grounded, rooted, and safe and secure, right? And I'm being called to kind of take a look at this idea of the Sun in Gemini trining Saturn in Aquarius, that Saturn energy is in your 6th house of day to day. And what is it that you're doing? What are you putting your work into and your efforts into, right? What are you doing there? Focusing on making sure that you have these things that you want, need, and desire moving forward and mastering whatever's necessary. But a lot of you are going to be in this space where you're realizing in order for you to get to where it is that you really want to go in your career, in that financial situation, in that relationship, you're going to need to strategize a little differently, right? Because we have the Four of Swords here, which is about kind of taking a step back, right, for perspective. A great energy to really look at things very realistically. Do a little bit of shadow work, maybe even go to therapy. Just figure out a better strategy for moving forward regarding that situation. And at the same time, focus on this Eight of Pentacles, though. This is this need for a logical and diligent approach to the relationship, to that work, to whatever it is. It's focusing on what's necessary. I mean, this is you, my friends. This is Sun in Virgo. 8 of Coins is a Sun in Virgo energy. Focusing on you, focusing on what it is that you need to do to bring yourself into a space where you know you're going to be like, yes, this is the right thing for me. This is definitely the right thing for me. And that's something that you're going to have to really kind of focus on, right? So that's what I have for this portion of the reading. Let's just pull a couple of oracles for that spread. Any closing messages? and being very honest with yourself, right? I mean, that Mars and Cancer opposing Pluto and Capricorn on the 5th, and that's going to be happening between that 11th house and 5th house. You're really going to be in this very interesting space about, there's going to be this tension about a creative project and you starting something on your own. That relationship, do you want to level it up to that next space? Where are these things going? Do you want to have children, Virgo? Where do your children fit in your life, right? That's that 5th house, 11th house tension. This keeps coming up. Somebody on the other side has your back. Never ending story. One more. Loyal heart. Very nice. We have blessed and loyal heart. These are beautiful energies. You have to see, what is the never-ending story? What keeps happening? What keeps happening in your career, money, relationships, family situations? Really look at that and lean into that right now. It does seem like that would be the way to go. So let's move on to relationship-only reading for our Virgo friends. Family and tribe. How teachable are you? Virgos always get a bad rap with that, right? You're just misunderstood. You truly are. I always say it. Because you are the problem solvers of the zodiac, right? You just are. You 6th house energy. You know, you guys rule the mental, physical, emotional health realm. You rule pets. You rule the day-to-day work environment. So there's a lot in there, right? So you're very critical of yourself, but you're also very critical of other people. And a lot of, I'm sure a lot of you get that. And I always say Virgos are very frequently asked, so how are you doing? So whenever I meet a Virgo, I always make sure I ask them that, because I know a lot of people don't. So we have family and tribe, very big focus here, and how teachable are you, having to do with these two areas. Okay. Which can be a thing, right now, because of that 5th house energy, right? That June 5th, that opposition, the Mars and Cancer opposing the Pluto and Capricorn, that's between, like, where are you going? The 5th house, it could have to do with your children, what's going on in that realm. At the same time, you have that Mercury in Gemini, the Mercury is retrograde in Gemini, squaring that Neptune and Pisces. That's between your public reputation and your 7th house of marriage, right? So we have a lot of energy that's sort of kicking up that house of marriage energy as well. So, if those of you who are struggling, there might be a huge focus on family and tribe, or the family and tribe of a partner that you're dealing with. And you may be needing to handle things in a little bit of a different way. Okay. Oh, so we have the Devils and the Lovers. 2 big minor arcanas is the situation right now. Okay, what are you going to do? Like, literally, how are you going to handle the imbalance in the relationship? That's so interesting. My goodness. You know what? Honestly, I think this is the 3rd. Okay, so you guys are the 6th sign that I'm doing. And I think the Devil has come up 3 times, I think, with the Lover's energy. Different decks, different spreads, shuffling, all of that. Fascinating, because, guys, they're the same energy, really. I like to incorporate numerology into my tarot. The Lovers is the Devil energy in numerology, and the Devil is the Lover's energy in numerology. So this is very important. We have to look at it. Anyway, coming into this, we have the Moon. So it's definitely some sort of disappointment. Disappointment in relationship. Confusion. Feeling very let down and not trusting that a relationship is going to work, and that ends up leading you to make a decision about the relationship. It's that 4th house, that Cancer energy, that disappointed, right, energy, because there's this something doesn't feel right sort of thing, and that's in the recent past. Now we have the Devil energy, which is being challenged by the Lovers. There's imbalance, but what are you guys going to do about it? That's very directly, that's what that means. Devil is, I don't know, somebody struggling with addiction, with, doesn't have to be, with anxiety, depression, unchecked, untreated, narcissistic tendencies, selfishness? Is there cheating? Is there anything that you could think of that would create an imbalance? There's so many different things that could cause imbalances, right? Somebody just not showing up the way you need them to. Maybe the communication is, but whatever it is, it needs to be discussed because the Lover's energy is about, all right, we have a choice. You know what the choice is? We're either going to work at this and figure it out, or we're not. There's no in between. That's what this is, right? What are you going to do about it? You have the blessing of Archangel Raphael if you're both going to be involved in it together and do it together. But the thing is, I feel like you're going to be dealing with an energy who's just not, I almost want to say, I want to say emotionally equipped. So that's what I want to say. So I don't know if it's that they're not emotionally intelligent enough or they're not emotionally available, right? But there's something about that. Nine of Swords energy, a lot of it's crowning. You know, Nine of Swords is an uncomfortable energy. It's about anxiety and overwhelm and worry and depression and trouble sleeping and not responding well to the stress of the situation because your way out of it or your way forward in it isn't clear. It's Mars in Gemini. So this is like a huge, like an argument that you're having with yourself, right? Because Mars is that warrior planet. When it's in Gemini, it has to do with communication, except this is communication you're having with yourself. Because you guys are smart cookies, right? You know, you have it figured out, but you don't have it figured out. You know what I mean? You can see what the issue is, but you can't see your way to the other side of it. We have the Six of Cups energy. Now, guys, be careful, right? Because this is about feeling very nostalgic for the past and the desire to have a reconciliation. I was also going to say reconcile. I do want to say that next. Because again, this is this idea of coming back to the past, particularly if you've suffered some sort of mistreatment, going back to something and saying, okay, you know, maybe it's going to be different the next time around. Some of you also may be in the situation where if you're in a relationship now, you're ending it to get back with somebody from the past. This is a general reading, so I want to just give everything that I'm getting here. We have the Death card as you right now. So, I mean, look, this is just something changing. The relationship ends or there's this time of necessary separation, if it's ever going to find its footing again later on, you know. But anything that you've been in up to this point in relationship needs to end or needed to end because it wasn't healthy for you. It just really wasn't healthy. Some of you might be moving. In your relationship, there might also be this element of moving, right? Where you have to, you know, change where you're living because you realize where you're living is no longer meeting your needs or can no longer work, right? So this can manifest as an offer to move somewhere that ends up inciting a new beginning for you. You know, just moving out of something, right, within the relationship. We have the Star reverse, you know, is the energy that's, the external energy that's influencing you here. And this could have to do with arrogance. This could have to do with suppression. Guys, this can even also have to do with illness. I mean, somebody might just be struggling with some sort of illness, either, you know, physical illness, a mental illness, some sort of issue with regulating themselves, anything like that. But the Star reverse is also indicating this idea of giving up too easily on something, right? And being in this energy where there's too strong an attachment to the fantasy of a situation. Feeling very pulled into a false sense of security in something that has no real foundation, little chance of success, you know, and you just don't feel like you have the support that you need. And that inciting you saying, you know what, this is over. This is either over for good or it's over for now, but it's just can't continue the way it is right now. And we have the Knight of Cups is your block in the reverse. So the Knight of Cups in reverse is you're dealing with somebody there's either you or a person that you're dealing with, there's somebody who just has very unrealistic expectations about a situation. But I don't feel like this is you. Although maybe it is, right? Maybe it is. Maybe you're putting on somebody that you feel like they could be better, they could be different, they could be fill in the blank, whatever it is. They could be X, Y, and Z if only they would fill in the blank kind of thing, right? You thinking this about them thinking this about you, but you needing to understand that it doesn't work like that, right? I mean, and you know that. We all know that, but sometimes when we're caught up in the energy of something, if only, if only, if only. And yeah, I mean, here comes the how teachable are you? Really focusing on the reality of the situation and not trying to impose on them. And impose maybe is the wrong word. No, it's the right word. Impose on them what you think they're capable of. Because I do have to tell you, I think you're dealing with a very manipulative energy. Somebody who's very emotionally manipulative. And look at your near future is the Ten of Wands. And this is just overwhelm and burden, you know? There's some of you might be in this space where you're in this relationship and you're very focused on trying to keep everything together. Maybe you have a family together, or maybe you just consider each other family. Like, you know, you're in that space where it's like, no, you're my people. Why is this not working out? You know, and you being in this space where it's like, wait a minute, maybe we just need to work more on the relationship, right? Because the Ten of Wands can also indicate the relationship being neglected because of other things going on in life right now. It can mean that if you're not feeling overwhelmed. So it could be a little bit of both. But the final outcome energy here, again, is this King of Cups in the reverse, which is a very abusive person. This really is an energy of emotional manipulation, to be honest, yeah. Tricky week in relationships for you, Virgo. It just is, you know, sometimes it just rolls like this. But we have the Page of Swords in the reverse. So somebody might be having issues with their kids. There could be some sort of legal issue that you guys are dealing with, some sort of tax issue, just some sort of negative issue that can be impacting the energy within the relationship. We have the Five of Swords in the reverse, which is a fair fight. There being peace after there being some trouble within this situation. But the thing is, the lights come on, like somebody's getting caught doing something. Somebody's getting caught, or the reality of something is being realized. And we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse, which is fully learning from the past. This could even indicate somebody returning home. It could even be that energy for some of you, depending on your situation, but it's fully learning from the past. And we have clarifying that, though, we have the Strength in reverse. And this is weakness and difficulties with decision making, taking any kind of risk, having any kind of confrontation, just not wanting to deal with the discomfort. And you might even be in the space where you're ignoring your instincts in the name of safety or ease, but this can end up stunting your growth in the situation and in the relationship. So you really want to be careful of not like overthinking or analysis paralysis here. It's just best to face whatever it is, look for the lesson in it, you know, because whatever it is just not going to go away on its own. Yeah, we have the King of Swords energy. Really be very logical right now. Really use sound logic, no emotions. That's the way to go in this energy. Honestly, really tap into that Mercury rulership that you have. We have the Nine of Wands working with the Seven of Cups. So I see you're confused. You still have fire in your belly for something. You do. It's like you feel like you're fighting long and hard in something which has exhausted you. But you have fire in your belly to see it through. You're feeling this energy, though. I don't know if I could do this. And this is temporary, right? Feeling defensive is very likely right now, right? Just want to make sure that you don't stay in that negative space, right? Just be very careful of that, but because things are very up in the air. It's like choices, confusion. What do I do? There might be commitment issues going on here that you're dealing with, either within yourself or with another individual, and you're just not sure where everything stands. It's only a week. See what comes up next week. But you're just not sure what's real, what's not real. Things feel up in the air. But you feel like you're in the beginning stages of something. There's something moving forward. Pay really sharp attention to your instincts and emotions here. But really, I mean, how teachable are you? Family and tribe. I mean, there's something that you really don't want to release here. Finally, we have the Empress energy. This is straight up Venus. Straight up. Now, in numerology, this is the Hangman, which is a Neptune energy, which is about pressing the pause button to try to get a better perspective and see if staying in something isn't going to end up creating a situation where you're victimizing yourself, or you're needing to martyr yourself in order to make something work. So it's the Hangman, and it's the World card, which is about learning a lesson out of a situation. So you have these two energies where it's like, are you going to sacrifice yourself in order to make something work? You have to really ask yourself, are you going to be able to grow in the relationship if you do that, if that's being asked of you? So that is what I have for you, my friends, for the relationship portion. I hope that was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.